Today, our administration is announcing that all public and private schools will remain closed through the end of the school year.
Good Tuesday evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Western Mass News at 6. I'm Chris Pisano. Let's take a quick look at what's making the latest headlines. You heard Governor Baker there today closing all public and private schools in the state for the rest of this school year. He says distance learning will continue, and this is not an early start to summer vacation. Also, non-emergency child care will remain closed through June 29th. In other headlines, the state has completed more than 169,000 tests to date. 400 ventilators on loan from New York State have arrived, and 5 million PPEs have been delivered across the state. Big news today in schools in Massachusetts. They will remain closed through the end of the school year, as you heard our Governor Charlie Baker making that announcement at the top of the show at his COVID-19 briefing. Western Mass News reporter Sarah Gurnelli checked in with 2 local school districts to see how they'll be handling the change, and she joins us now live with more. Sarah.
Chris, we spoke with the Springfield superintendent of schools and the Holyoke mayor about this decision, and they both agree that it was a good thing that the mayor decided, or the governor, excuse me, to close the schools for the remainder of the school year to stop the spread of COVID-19. But one thing is in the air: proms and graduations.
It's a tough time for our students and for our teachers. I know students miss their friends, students miss their teachers.
Holyoke Mayor Alex Morse expressing his sympathies for students who won't be returning to the classrooms for the rest of the school year. Tuesday, Governor Charlie Baker announced all schools will remain closed due to COVID-19, but students will continue to learn remotely.
It's an emotional, difficult time for many folks, and happy that here at Holyoke we were able to provide 1,500 laptops to students that don't have them, as well as provide 6 months of free internet for students.
Moore says learning is the top priority for Holyoke Public Schools, but with schools closed, he says the city is looking at some ways to still celebrate seniors' accomplishments. The district is planning to hold a traditional prom and graduation ceremony. It's just not clear when.
We've committed to the seniors that when it is safe to do so, that we would hold those events in the future. We're just not sure exactly when that would be. And in the meantime, do our best to replicate the importance and special nature of those events electronically.
Western Mass News spoke with the Springfield Public Schools Superintendent Dan Warwick over the phone about how they are handling the remote learning.
We had made an investment about 5 years ago, one-to-one with our computer technology, so we have laptops for all the students. So we were able to send laptops home. We've already distributed 17,000 laptops so that many students have them at home, and those that need them. And we've also worked with families relative to the connectivity.
Warwick says students are disappointed about not being able to head back to school, but he thinks it's an opportunity for parents to help their kids grow.
I think it's just having a conversation and then structuring some time for the kids. And they're still going to have teachers reaching out to them. They're going to have staff reaching out to them and really trying to provide work and feedback so that they can continue to make the academic progress.
And the Springfield School Superintendent says they are still trying to figure out how to move forward with prom and graduation. Live in Springfield, Sarah Gurnelli, Western Mass News.
Still a first warning weather day here at Western Mass News, but already starting to see some improvements, at least sunshine-wise, heading into this evening. We will see the skies clearing out as that front has passed through. So we're done with the rain, we're done with the snow. Now the wind will start to pick up and the chillier temperatures spill in. But you see some of the blue skies trying to peek through. Our rain now out through central and eastern Mass, now within the 495 corridor. Just a couple of sprinkles as you go towards Belchertown near the Quabbin, out towards Brimfield, but very, very light in nature. And we will all see some gradual sunshine. You see that clearing line pushing through real quick. This was a quick moving storm, dumped about a half inch or more across the area. Now you see the chillier air that's spilling in. Our wind right now is calm, but tonight it will be howling with that storm moving off the coast, deepening just a little bit. 30s in Blandford, 35 in Worthington, 41 in Amherst, and 39 in Palmer. So we're going to clear out tonight, waking up with some sunshine tomorrow. It's not going to feel all that warm though. Upper 20s, low 30s, feeling more like the teens overnight, And then here's tomorrow. We're back to some sunshine, but we're seasonably cold, only in the middle 40s for afternoon highs and remaining a bit blustery. We'll look at the forecast, Chris, coming up in just a few minutes.
Jacob, thank you. Back to our coronavirus coverage. The Mass Department of Public Health reporting the latest cases here in the Bay State. There are 1,556 new cases. That's up 23.4% from just yesterday. 1,961 people have died from COVID-19, with 152 new deaths reported. 175,372 tests have been conducted in the state. And now breaking down those numbers county by county right here in Western Mass. Hampden County reporting 2,533 cases. Hampshire's reporting 337 cases. Franklin County has 192, and Berkshire has 404 cases. In total, Western Mass has 3,466 COVID-19 cases. Governor Charlie Baker addressing today in his press conference on President Trump's intent to sign an executive order temporarily stopping immigration here to the United States. In a tweet Monday night, the president said he will sign the order to fight against the virus, what he calls the invisible enemy, and to protect the jobs of American citizens. And now Governor Baker saying he does not agree with the president's decision.
I'm opposed to the decision that the president made. I'm opposed to the order. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't think it makes us any safer. I mean, I just pointed out that the first two people who created the biggest part of the Eastern Mass spread of the virus were two folks who were here at a business conference.
At this time, it's unclear how the order will be carried out or how long the suspension could last. As the reopening debate wages across our country, reviving the economy has been one of the most cited arguments for relaxing social distancing. But with more small businesses assistance working its way through through Capitol Hill, Congressman Richard Neal in Western Mass today is speaking out on efforts to help the economy outside of reopening. Western Mass News reporter Audrey Russo joins us live in Springfield with more on that. Audrey.
As Congressman Neal was touring the now converted Cartamundi PPE factory in East Longmeadow, the Senate was working through and eventually passed a more than $470 billion small business assistance coronavirus bill. Now, Neal and the House are expected to look and consider that bill later on this week. But today, Neal discussed some of the things that he believes are missing from this most recent wave of coronavirus stimulus and financial assistance.
This is relief and stability. We're not in the phase of recovery yet.
Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are moving a new multi-billion-dollar assistance package through Congress. This legislation, which is expected to go before the House later this week, will reportedly contain money for COVID-19 testing, hospitals, and small businesses. As the head of the Ways and Means Committee, Congressman Richard Neal tells Western Mass News there needs to be more from the next round of financial assistance.
We think on our side that you need more money for state and local governments.
The bill reportedly contains more than $300 billion to replenish the Paycheck Protection Program. Neal noted the depletion of the program designed to help small businesses keep employees on the payroll.
That money went out the door in 12 days.
In addition to more money being needed for state and local governments, Neal notes the need for more relief for individual Americans, but didn't give a specific timeline for if or when another round of direct payments would happen.
I don't think $1,200 goes very far.
Neal was also asked about President Trump announcing plans for an executive order blocking immigration into the U.S.
I do think if you have healthcare professionals that could make their way in, we want to make sure that there are exceptions for them.
As far as reopening Western Mass or the state of Massachusetts as a whole, Neal said that was a decision for Governor Charlie Baker. Now, in response to a question as to whether or not the federal government is watching states like Georgia, Tennessee, ones that have made the decision to open up certain venues, all Neal said was that states should simply be following the advice and the guidance from Dr. Fauci. Live in Springfield, Audrey Russo for Western Mass News.
Audrey, thank you for that live report. For the first time, we're hearing from one of the chaplains at Bay State Medical Center working on the front lines in the hospital's COVID-19 unit. As Beth Ward reports in this exclusive story, she's there for the triumphs as patients recover, but also the tragedies as others reach out for spiritual guidance and support in their final moments.
At Bay State Medical Center, there are 7 members of spiritual services from all denominations working 24/7 during this COVID-19 pandemic, like Uta Schmidt, an ordained minister with United Church of Christ and a certified spiritual care educator.
As chaplains, we are here to provide that sense of calm and that sense of reassurance and that sense of togetherness. We are in this together.
This pandemic presents challenges unlike she and her team have ever seen before, offering any type of comfort they can to patients.
To request a prayer, to request a virtual visit, we're here to support anyone of any faith, of no faith, in any capacity we can.
Sometimes she says that means offering a cell phone or a FaceTime to patients whose families can't be there, as much a comfort to them as it is to hospital staff.
I had another patient where we FaceTimed and he could see his fiancée and it put a smile on his face. And that smile of this patient who had been intubated for 5 days made the day of the team, the nurses and myself and the physicians who witnessed that. And I think that gives us a sense of hope that carries us through.
And for the sickest of patients, those who may not make it, she says some are allowed one family member to come and say goodbye, often asking for spiritual guidance.
A couple of weeks ago, I witnessed that, how a family member was in the room with their father who was dying of COVID-19 related symptoms, and she sang to him, and it was heartbreaking and beautiful at the same time.
She calls it humbling and a privilege to be part of these moments during these unprecedented times.
We are spiritual people, so we use our spirituality to offer prayers, and prayers work through doors and through windows.
And that was Beth Ward reporting. Bay State Spiritual Services also has help for families who may have a loved one dealing with COVID-19. For more information on that, just head to our website, westernmassnews.com. And for more coverage on the coronavirus emergency as it continues to develop, log on to our free Western Mass News streaming app.